There are some inconvenient truths about the present circumstances of global economy. One of these is that the system is broken, and the evidence for it is almost daily on the television screen. The problems in Portugal, the problems in Greece, problems in with basically every economy that you can look at, except a very few. All are in trouble. Monetary policy has become totally impotent. The impotency of it again is evidence from the fact that Japan is offering negative interest rate, and other countries, and perhaps Europe will also follow, and even the American monetary policy makers are thinking about it anyway. So basically the idea is that this system has created so much debt that it has created a huge debt and a drag on economic growth. And when that happens, you have this huge problem with unemployment, this huge problem with inequality, this huge problem with poverty and exclusion. And this system cannot continue. Sooner or later, it is going to hit the wall and do it very seriously. And I'm not the only one. There are a lot of observers that basically are looking to the future and seeing it to be very, very bleak. So how do we get out of this? So, well, the only way to do it is change the system. Now, one thing about capitalistic systems is that basically capitalism can reinvent itself. The minute it recognizes a challenge, recognizes a problem, it can change itself. We just finished a book called How Capitalism Can Be Saved. The idea is basically you've got to move out of this paradigm of constantly shifting and transferring risk to people who cannot bear it. You have to try to encourage a system in which people share in the risk of the economy. And from that point of view, if you look at some of the estimates of what would happen if, in fact, the society were to switch over, you would have more financial inclusion, you would have less poverty, and you will have less inequality by nature of the system that you implement. There is an idea, for example, just put on the table by Western economists, they say 2012, that basically is called asset-based redistribution. You know, we have two types of the redistribution. There's income redistribution, where you take money from the rich and give it to the poor. It turns out that this does not have good effects, good impact as could have had. And basically what it does is that it creates incentives that are adverse to reducing poverty, and a lot of money goes to waste. For example, from the time that President Johnson declared anti-poverty, war against poverty, up to now, they have spent an estimated amount of $19 trillion on poverty, but poverty is only minimally has moved down in the United States, which is the richest country in the world. So the second way, an alternative, is what is called asset-based redistribution. This idea says, allow people to become invested in the society. Let the poor become asset holders, include them in the financial sector, and that will allow them to move up the ladder of income, and at the same time help themselves, help their family, help other people that come in contact with them. Aside from that, the argument that if you have risk sharing, it requires enormous amount of information before somebody is willing to share somebody else's project. And it's going to be due diligence by a factor of 10, because you're not going to, if you know you're going to lose your money, you're going to be much more careful where you're going to put your money and what is the consequences of this activity in which you put the money. So it may make people actually more conscious of environmental impact, more conscious of income effect of action. So in other words, probably will be alleviating poverty much faster than the other system would. So overall, the system is going to have to look at alternatives to what is available now, because this one has reached, he reached almost the end of it.